Hi, my name's Doug Ferrin, and welcome to my show. I have a rather remarkable brush preservation system that I've developed over the last 20 years, and it incorporates this oil and this brush holder, which holds it in the oil, and not only that, it keeps your brushes from becoming very greasy. The oil is the magic ingredient, and it keeps your brushes from oxidizing. Through my research that for nylon brushes, soap and water is nylon's kryptonite. It really is. You can put nylon in acids, you can put it in alcohol, ammonia, and nothing will happen to it. You put it in water and it curls up and it frays, as you've all seen. Now, we were all told when we were students that we should wash our brushes every night with soap and water. And that is absolute anathema especially for inexpensive brushes, which I use a lot of, especially now. They work just as well as the natural hair brushes that I used to spend a fortune on, and they last just as long now. You can see I put a bit of masking tape on two brushes, and here I'll show you a picture. This is after just a week of washing one with soap and water and the other leaving it in the oil. Now the way this works is you put it down like that, and you open up these latches, and there it is. And then you put your brushes in it. Now you fill the oil well up to about the red line, and then you line these up about with the red line. They don't have to be perfectly aligned. There's plenty of room to roam. It doesn't have to be exact. I wanted this to be something that I could just throw my brushes in and not worry about them for the rest of the time that they were sitting there. And I never have to clean them. In fact, cleaning them is a really bad idea. It's funny because I was on a forum one day and a South American kid was saying, I can't afford brushes, my brushes only last a few days because I paint really hard, and what do I do? And I told him about this, and I actually gave him the recipe. This was a couple of years ago, and he said, you don't wash your brushes? And I said, no, not at all. Never, I use this. And he said, I have to have clean brushes. I'm going to keep cleaning them. And I was like, well, man, it's your funeral, it's your brushes. But if you can't afford brushes, this is the way to go. Some of these, like this one here, I've been using for 2 years now. And you can see that it's still just as good as it was 2 years ago. All of these I've been using for months, and they're supple, they're soft, and they still have their points, as you can see with the one with the masking tape. And I use this brush pretty hard so that I could compare it with the other. And I did not wash the other vigorously or with any particular verve. I just washed it gently with soap and water, and look what happened to it. So anyway, you close this up, and then I have these hasps. You simply close those, and then you turn it up, and you leave it overnight. And then when you're done, I have this holder here, and you put that down, and you just let them drip off in the morning. When I do it when I come in to the studio in the morning with my coffee, and I let it drip off. And then when I'm ready to paint, I simply put it down, open it up again, and there they are, ready to go, just like when I left them the night before. And in fact, I've gone out of town for up to 6 months and come back, and these things have been in perfect condition. You can leave them in, at first when I started to play around with this, someone had suggested that I put them in linseed oil, and I tried that, and that was a goopy mess. That was an absolute goopy mess, because linseed oil is a drying oil, and it forms a skin on your brushes. The bristles were kind of okay for a while, but if I left for any amount of time, if I went out of town, I'd come back and I would just have a syrupy, goopy mess. And sometimes the brushes were impossible to clean off with the linseed oil. So this contains 3 different oils that I've come to discover really keep them in excellent condition. And I think it actually improves them because they're coated, they're protected from oxygen at all times. And oxygen is the enemy. It's also our great friend. We couldn't live without it. But it also puts everything in the world on a slow burn, and nylon especially. So if you've ever asked yourself, hey, these synthetic brushes, they're supposed to be strong and durable and better than, more durable, maybe not better than, but more durable than a natural hairbrush. And indeed they are, if you don't wash them with soap and water. And what that does, the soap dries them out, it strips all of the oil off of them that you had there in the daytime. Obviously they don't have any natural oils the way a sable would or some other natural hairbrush, but the oil that you put on there you strip off, and then they become a sponge for the moisture in the air, which is also nylon's enemy because it's water. And what it does is it puts the oxygen in the water into super close proximity with the nylon, and oxygen degrades nylon just like it degrades everything else, but the water brings it in and holds it close to the nylon. So, if you were ever wondering when you were at school, sitting there scrubbing your brushes, going, why do they fray? Why do the tips curl up? Why can't I keep a good tip on my brush? It's because you were washing them with soap and water. So that's the news, and it's $100 for the holder and the oil, and I was going to give the first 30 people who want one, who buy one, a free jar of oil. It's going to come with 2 jars of oil. That'll about be a lifetime supply. I have been using mine that I built. It's kind of a clunky prototype, but I've been using the same oil for the last year. It doesn't evaporate quickly. Everything evaporates, but this oil very, very slowly. And unless you have your brushes in your studio in a wood shop where there's all kinds of dust, it's really fine. I designed this so mostly it gets covered. There's a little space there so you can see your brushes. I thought people would like to see their brushes. And this will last you a lifetime. Somebody brought up the concern that they thought the foam might get greasy and oily, but unless you pour oil on it or something, it won't. But if you do get it oily, I'm going to be having packs of foam that you can buy. It's not in with a strong glue. You can just take it out and put it back in with a little Elmer's or something if you want. But I have the same foam that I've been using for actually since the beginning, since I first built mine. And it's fine. It doesn't get greasy. It doesn't get oily. Now you can take the oil, why can't I just take the oil and put it in a dish? You're welcome to. I'll sell you the oil, and for $20 a bottle. And, yeah, you can pour it in a dish and just lay your brushes in if you can't afford the brush holder. And it'll be fine, but I got sick of that again, having greasy brushes in the morning. And, you don't want to stand them up because then, of course, it ruins the ends and it ruins the tip. And, but, if you lay them in, it works all right. And you can, you can wipe them off in the morning. And it uses up a fair amount of oil, too, because you're wiping it off every day. And, you have to throw them away. You're throwing your rags away. The rags dry out, and you have to throw them away. This is completely non-flammable. You can have a rag soaked with this oil. It is not linseed oil. It does not spontaneously combust the way linseed oil does. It's absolutely non-flammable, and it's completely made in America. Every part of it. you know, the wood, the foam even actually. So it's all made in America and by American workers and all that. So anyway, there's a link on here where you can go to my website, ferrinpaint.com. You can write me there if you have any extra questions. The website is under construction, meaning I just started it. So there's not a lot of information, but if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll answer as soon as I can. And the link is here for PayPal if you want to go on and get it at PayPal. And I have the link on my website as well. So enjoy your painting, enjoy having your brushes for months, if not years. I used to spend $100 a week on brushes, at least. And now I don't. I just don't. They last a long time. And I paint hard. I paint hard, man. I do. I'm a professional artist. For those of you who know me, you know that. But those of you who don't, yeah, I'm a professional artist. And I paint all the time. And my brushes now last forever. They used to, a cheap nylon brush used to last me 3 days, a week at the outside. Now they last me a half a year to a year. So enjoy your painting and enjoy having your brushes last a long time. Thanks for watching.